deepest wildwood was the place he was seen, and the people did love and protect him. The deepest wildwood was the place he, and they saw his face change with the turn of the wheel of the seasons. They heard his voice sing, I'm the horn god, I'm the face in the trees, I'm the breath of the wind that rustles the leaves, I'm the green man in the wildwood I roam, Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne. I shall be as the dark Holly King, darkness and cold in my cloak I will bring, but on winter's nights to me you will sing, till the air around me starts changing, and on the noon of the solstice I'll give up my crown to the light and the mighty, O King. I'm the horn god, I'm the face in the trees, I'm the breath of the wind that rustles the leaves, I'm the green man in the wildwood I roam, Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne. All summer long I will rule just and fair, bring your crops to fruit with the light that I share, with fire and water from earth into air. Oh, but the wheel it keeps steadily turning, and on the noon of the solstice I'll give up my crown to the cold and the dark Holly King. I'm the horn god, I'm the face in the trees, I'm the breath of the wind that rustles the leaves, I'm the green man in the wildwood I roam, Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm East, I'm the breath of the wind. It's now modern times and the summer is here, the winter has gone and the air it is clear. On a fine day I walk through a wood I live near, oh, and a battle I spy through a clearing, two giants of leaves, one light and one dark, even now the wheel it is turning. I'm the horn god, I'm the face in the trees, I'm the breath of the wind that rustles the leaves, I'm the green man in the wildwood I roam, Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne. Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne, 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 Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne. I'm the horn god, I'm the face in the trees, I'm the breath of the wind that rustles the leaves, I'm the green man in the wildwood I roam, Cernunnos I'm Pan and I'm Herne.
They say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at one thing.
Facing the west to a distant land, gazing over the sea, standing on Cornwall's rocky shore, the crashing waves far below me. I heard a woman calling my name, her voice, the voice of a friend. She said, now hear me, I'm Morgan Le Fay. Let me tell you a story with no end. The life of a man, the life of a king, the love for a queen. Pendragon of Britain, sovereign of the land, the mightiest warrior ever seen. The magic sword in his hand, like lightning cut through the air. A gift of the goddess, lady of the lake, to valiant Arthur the Bear. In the heart of Dumnonia stands a town, an isle on a sea of glass, where Merlin planned the old gods of the land would return to Britain at last. 12 of the 13 treasures were there, Clifno, Ivan's cauldron, the quest. Onward when they sailed into the other world, number 7 returned from the west. Na 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 Facing the west to a distant land, gazing over the sea, standing on Cornwall's rocky shore, crashing waves far below me.
Good morning,
I
folks.
see a ship disappear in the mist that shines like silver and bronze.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the little bit of Yule music there that I found. Believe it or not, Facebook actually let me get through that entire segment. Now, let's hope they're going to let us get through this segment. Good morning, Clint. Very glad to see you made it. Who else we got? Morning, Robert. Glad you made it. Well, I didn't, and I don't, I guess, didn't really expect a whole lot of people to be out this morning on the Christian Christmas morning. Blessed Yule to you all, and those who follow Christmas. Happy Christmas to you, and Happy Hanukkah to those who follow Hanukkah. Well, what we're going to be doing this morning is basically chattering. And I want to start with why a digital church? Why an online church? Why do we think we need an online pagan church? Well, it's simple. So much of the time people really can't get out. Bad weather, bad timing, no money or gas, or they're trapped to their homes because of physical reasons or lack of transportation. So doing a video church like this kind of allows those that can be online to interact, be able to chat, and maybe ask questions. And who knows, we may actually attract younger seekers to the channel, and maybe be able to ask a few questions. Not that I'm going to sit here and tell you I have all of the answers, mind you, but I know that if I don't have the answer that you're looking for, someone here in the HOP will. If you're watching the video on OpenPaganChurch, you'll find the interaction in the chat area in the House of Pagans that you can search for on YouTube. It's not YouTube, hell, on Facebook, and it's also linked right here. So, why a church? Why do I call it church? Well, if you look up the definition of church, it of course stands for a gathering of like-minded people. Now, as I've said before, people hear the word church, they tend to fritter. Ooh, don't want no church, don't want nothing to do with church. Well, HOP, the House of Pagans, we are open to all religions and all faiths. We don't deal with backstabbing, rumor-mongering crap. We simply deal with spiritual interaction and questions and answers, and hopefully help someone find their way. To me, that's what a church is about. A church should be about helping people find a way that best fits them spiritually, that best takes care of that spiritual need that so many people don't have nowadays. Millions of people around the world are turning against modern day mainstream religions. They're turning against that religion that has condemned their way of life, that tells them and beats on the pulpit and pounds the Bible and says, you don't live my way, you'll go to hell. Well, since 1999/2000 that I've been doing pagan churches, I've never found that. I've never believed that. I've never talked about it in church. And I'm not going to use the word preach because I don't preach. I'm all about sharing wisdom, ideas, thoughts, and philosophies because I want to learn. I pride myself in being very open-minded and very solid in my faith in who and what I am. And I hope that the younger seekers that are coming around will find that themselves. We're still in the moon and the changing of Yule. Yule is the new beginning, the birth of the new sun. New beginnings in that when we wake up on the 22nd and we continue to go through our days through the 25th/26th, which is the actual time of Yule. I personally like to wake up with a new outlook that today is going to be better than yesterday. Not necessarily that yesterday was bad, mind you. But if I wake up with the thought process in my mind that today is going to be better than it was yesterday, then I've already put in place the thought process of today is going to be better than yesterday. I've always liked doing the churches, most especially when we had the circle in Liberty. We'd have 15, 20, 30, 40 people sometimes. And you start in a circle. And if you decide to start your own open circle, put together a mission statement and code of conduct. Get into that circle of people and get someone each Sunday or Saturday, whenever you do it, to come in with a topic. Discuss that topic. Lay out their background of that topic and their thoughts and philosophies on it, and make sure that they understand that as you're going around that circle, listening to other people's thoughts and philosophies on that topic, that your thoughts and philosophies are not always right. They're right for you. Learn from others. That's what I do. And that's what everyone that used to come to the HOP circle, I hope, took away from it, is that we share those philosophies and we listen to other people's belief systems and ideas and thought processes. And that's what we're there for. As I get on up in years, January 2017, I'll be 55 years old. Body doesn't like to do the things that it used to. But my mind, I hope, will become filled with more wisdom as the years go by. And I look forward to that wisdom. I enjoy it. I like to work with it. And I like to understand and use those philosophies that I've learned throughout the prior year to make for a better next year. And as many of you know, I also do a radio show on UnitedPaganRadio.net. And I'll be doing a topic today called Because I Was Programmed. Humans, since the beginning of humanity, all the way back in the Stone Age, were programmed by their village elders, and by the spiritual leaders of their time. They were programmed by the things that they saw people do. Back in our ancestors' days, there were more battles and fights and exchanges of hatred because people were different. And the times are not a whole lot different today. We have radicalists, and I'm not going to use the term pagan, Christian, Muslim, Jew, whatever. We have radicalists of all religions out there performing heinous crimes against humanity. I firmly agree, and I'm going to touch on this subject real quick, that black lives do matter, but so do brown lives, Caucasian lives, people that are considered yellow-skinned lives matter. I am a firm believer that lives matter. Color is a simple disposition of the skin. It's not natural to be white. It's not natural to be black. It's not natural to be brown or yellow or red. It is natural to be human. And I'm also a big believer in science, not Scientology, but science. Science has proven by DNA that the first humans were black. The first indigenous people, that our true ancestors, the ancient ones, were blacks and really, really deep, dark browns. And as people fanned out across the continents, the continental bridges before the big quakes and the separation of the land masses, only then did people start changing color according to how much sun they got, where they lived, their variable dispositions, and what have you. Over hundreds of thousands of years, people manifested different colors. And as change takes place in the world, people are going to have to realize that we are more alike than we are different. each one of us, as we come across our lives and as we learn our life lessons, especially this time of year, I notice that starting about December 10th of each year, people start going batshit crazy. They're all in a huff and a muff about, oh, I got to get ready for Christmas. I got to get ready for Christmas. Bah, humbug on that for sure. You don't have to get ready for anything. Family is what the holidays is about. Family is the way I was raised. So like I say, this morning we're 15 minutes into program, and we're basically just chattering about what makes a pagan church and the reason we want to do a online church where more people have access to be able to listen to pagan philosophies and ideas. Read the areas down in the chat. Being okay with being different. And we're not different because we're pagan. We're different because we're human. I could very easily find myself sitting here putting down other religious philosophies because I know their history, I know where they come from, and I know their thoughts, the processes, and the way they work. I've studied different forms of religion, my God, now over 30 years. And it doesn't make me a religious scholar by any means. But what it does make me is a learned individual that does not lead circle off of the cuff of emotions. I don't lead a church off of the cuff of be damned if you don't live the way I tell you to. And I'll be the first one to tell you, anybody that has known me for any length of time at all, especially back in the day, so to speak, I have a temper. Oh boy, do I have a temper. Some people would say I have an anger management problem. Well, yes, you piss me off, I'll get in your face. But I'm not near like I used to be. And the reason for that is I have learned through the years that approaching things with anger and coming across angry and belligerent at people is not going to solve or resolve anything. In fact, in many cases, all that's going to do is cause more anger and strife, anxieties, and crap. I've gone back and looked at the original HOP Code of Conduct and Mission Statement, and I've reread them to reaffirm and reestablish that foundation in myself. I am a pagan minister. And I tend to try to hold myself in my own light, as in someone who deals with things calmly, philosophically. Now that's not to say if you don't, if you come at me with a physical altercation, then I'm not going to respond in kind. And that doesn't mean that I don't think that the American people, the British people, the global population should not stand up to their oppressors. I believe that everyone should stand up to your oppressor. But I do believe that violence is not always the way to do it. I believe that in some cases you have to meet violence with violence. If meeting violence with philosophically intelligent conversation doesn't work, knock their ass out, so to speak. But I also believe that if we start out on a communicative, ideological, philosophical idealism, that we can end up on a philosophical, agreed upon idealism for the masses. Do I think paganism is right for the world? No, it's right for me. It might be right for you, but it might not also be right for your neighbor, for your spouse, for your mate, for your partner, or your best friend. I have a lot of really good friends that are Christian, and I have a friend that is atheist. And we sit and discuss the different philosophies and idealisms of them. I accept their ideas and philosophies as their own. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. But just because I agree with someone's philosophy doesn't mean I'm going to convert to it. Just because I totally understand and agree with and realize where atheists are coming from, I believe they have the right to live an atheistic philosophy. Just like Christians have the right to live a Christianic philosophy, and pagans and Muslims and Jews. I don't believe that Christians should have the right to demean, put down, or attack unlike-minded people. And this is what I meant a while ago when I was talking about the radicals of any religion. You know, the radicalism of any religion should never be tolerated, most especially by the followers and the non-radicals of that religion. I have worked with and known some really, really wonderful Muslim people. I have visited a couple of mosques. I've visited a couple of Christian churches. And eventually, one day, my dream is, and always has been, to have an actual physical pagan church. Hopefully in this lifetime, I'll be able to realize that dream. And, yes, I fully believe that the trees and outside with the mother are our church, our foundation, our basis in any earth-based religion. But human beings, such as myself, I don't deal well with the cold anymore. I can't sit on the ground like I used to for too long. I have to have a chair to sit in because, well, if my fat ass gets down on the ground, getting back up is not always easy. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about a digital pagan church? Do you think it's good for the people to have a digital pagan church where you've got a couple of ministers, several ministers every other week or so kicking in, doing their own thing? I know that on this page, HOP, and on the actual page of the OpenPaganChurch page, we we like for people to come forward and say, hey, I have a topic. I'd like to do a pagan church one Sunday. I'm happy to show you how to do it. I'm happy to let you know the hardware that you'll need to do it. And as long as you've got the speed of your internet service or your mobile provider, then you can do an online pagan church without any issue. The only thing we require is that you have a video source and you're willing to go out as yourself, videoing yourself and putting yourself out there in a pagan church. And Clint says he's cleaning house right now. Good for you, dude. Who else we got out here? Well, I see Cindy and Clint. Cindy says she's getting a camera this month. Cool deal. Cool deal. Well, you know, if you guys want to do a pagan church, we'll schedule it up. We'll make it happen. And we'll damn sure see what happens. You know? See where it goes. Yeah, I'm getting text and IMs from people posting pictures of where they're at and the snow. Yeah, man, up north, man, they have really had their butts handed to them. William is a classmate from school. I don't see him. I don't see him online. Let's see. No. Unless I'm missing something. Let's see if I'm missing anything here. No. Don't appear to be. I know that sometimes when you use a webcam instead of like an Android device or a mobile device or something, you have to watch where your messages are coming in at. So, what are we doing? Where are we going? Yeah, it's the thing about doing these open churches without a concrete topic. I tend to find myself looking for input from the room, going, hey, you know, what do we want to talk about? What do we want to chat about? Yeah, I got my Santa Claus shirt on. How about that shit? I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I need to put Pegasus across my name tag here. I was looking for the Santa hat. Man, I looked all over this house for that Santa hat. Couldn't find it anywhere. I was going to be Sandy Claus this morning. What? I think Clint's talking about, I think Clint's already had a little bit too much eggnog. What do you think? Yeah, we'll give Clint and Cindy both a bit of a plug there. Cindy joined the HOP, oh my God, many, many years ago. Clint joined in '05, I think. Cindy joined in '01 or '02. And they're both now ministers within the HOP. Cindy has decided to start an actual HOP branch in Beaumont, if I've got that right. And Clint has started a open circle in Liberty. I think it's called the Circle of Liberty. He's not actually following under the HOP. He's doing his own thing, which is always great. And he sent me a email for perusal, not approval, but for me to browse and look at, see if I have any ideas. So Clint will be putting out his mission statement and code of conduct for his open circle shortly. I don't know if he's going to call it a church, but by definition what he has is a church. Cindy is getting hers lined out and ready to go and rock and roll. So anybody watching the video later, click on their profiles, check them out. They're good people. Well, we're 30 minutes past the hour. Let's take a few minute break. I'll plug in a little bit of festive music here, and let's take 5 minutes or so. Get up, go potty, do whatever it is you want to do. Take 5. See you back here shortly. Alright. Well, it looked like that one was simply, looked like that one was simply going to repeat itself, so we'll just let that one go. Give everybody a minute or two to get back, if they left. Alright, so what are we talking about this morning? Well, we're talking about why we need, or why anybody would want, a pagan church online. Well, I think we all need some place to go where we can share our like-minded thoughts, our philosophies, our ideas, where we can share our wisdom, what wisdom we may have. And I'm going to share a couple of links in the chat so that people that watch these videos, they kind of have an idea some of the places they can go to get good pagan information, and find people that understand what they're going through when they're going through their issues in life, if you will. So, like I say, I'm kind of copying and pasting some groups and listings in here that where you can actually find good help when you're trying to understand pagan philosophies and what have you. Yeah, no, I probably should have done this before I went online, but well, there you go. But we're always here to help where we can. And any of these groups or pages or anything like that that I'm posting, it's because I've either been on these pages for a while and I've seen that they're true to themselves, they're true to what they stand for, and they're true for what they do. Yeah, that ought to give a bit of a help there. So again, the purpose for a pagan church online, or a open pagan church, if you will, is to give people a place to go to listen to thoughts and ideas and be able to share your own. I mean, you know, come on. The only thing we don't allow to be shared on the HOP is radical fundamentalist ideas. And to me, that's just not a good positive way of thinking, to jump out with fundamentalist radical ideas of any religion. It doesn't matter what religion you're a part of. You know, if all you've got in your heart is hate because people are different, because people don't think the way you do, maybe you need some help. Maybe you need to reach out to your religious leaders, the ones that don't preach fundamentalist rhetoric, that is. Um, Reach out to your religious leaders and say, hey, you know, I'm having some problems here. I'm really kind of going radical and hard left. And by all means, if your idea of sharing your religion or getting your religious beliefs out are hurting others, destroying societies, um, doing things that you know are not as they should be done, then maybe you do need help. Maybe you do need to reach out and get a bit of assistance there and learn that that's not the way it should be. And as you know, about 50 minutes past the hour, that'll be in about 10 minutes, I'll be buggering off to get ready for the Coffee with Pegasus radio show on UnitedPaganRadio.net. I firmly believe in giving those folks many plugs, a whole lot of backing, if you will, because they're the only real live pagan radio that I know of on the internet. I mean, there's a boatload of pagan radios out there that play music all the time or have pre-recorded spots, you know, where they've edited this and edited that. These guys, man, when the hosts come on, they're live. They make a mistake, it's up front and personal. But I like that. I do a show called Coffee with Pegasus. It's on Facebook. You can search it. And it's more shaman-based, more path-based. So, damn. I've run out of things to talk about. Wow. All right, question in the chat. What do you do when you have someone that is pagan and nobody will want to help? Well, that's a bit of a sticky subject there, Miss Cindy. The nobody wants to help. I don't know. I would tell them they're looking in the wrong places. I would tell them that you need to check more than one source. And if you drop into a pagan page and you ask some questions, and they're intelligent questions, come on. I mean, I've seen these people drop into the HOP page, and the first thing they post is, I want to know everything there is to know about paganism. Really? Blah. Bullshit. You need to come across as, where do I begin? I want to learn what paganism is, but where do I begin? Where do I start? And that is probably the most important question you'll ever ask. Well, I think I know who you're talking about, and that's fine. Send him over to the HOP. Send them over to the HOP. If they've got a bad history, if they've got a bad past, The HOP will take them in, will watch their actions and reactions, and as long as there's strife, no drama, no bullshit, send them over to the HOP. I mean, I am a pagan minister. Yes, I'm shaman, but I'm a pagan minister. It's not my place to tell you how to live, how you should live, what you're doing is wrong or what you're doing is right, yada yada yada. I mean, if you're running amok, pulling a bunch of hate crimes on people and doing bullshit, I'm going to tell you, look, I don't agree with what you're doing. You need to get your head out of your ass and, get your head back on your shoulders straight. But the HOP group on Facebook, the HOP church overall, we let people prove their worth, right? Come in, you got a bad start, you got a bad history. Come on in and ask your questions. Don't get into, just let them know that they don't want to come in getting into a whole bunch of the past and things they may have done in the past and dragging it up and blah, blah, blah. Come in and essentially say, look, I screwed up. I made some mistakes. I want to start over. If they don't know where to begin, just tell them. Just say, I don't know where to begin. I don't know how to start. And you have my word as the minister of the HOP. They'll be accepted. I don't have to like someone to give them spiritual guidance. I don't have to like things that someone has done to give them spiritual guidance. It's not my job. So, there you go. I hope that answers your question. Hope that helps you out a bit. Well, I promise you, we all hit rock bottom. We all hit rock bottom. Every one of us in life makes mistakes. We screw up. And we screw other people up. It doesn't mean we actually set out to do it. It wasn't premeditated, so to speak. And as you know, God and Goddess knows, I've made my mistakes a time or two, or three, or four. So, bring them on in. Well, we got about 2 minutes left. So, with that, I always like to leave a bit of an open statement from the minister, if you will. This is Yule, folks. A time for new beginning. A time for love and family, blessings, and all of that goes along with it. It's a time for forgiveness, for moving on. You don't have to forget the things that people have done. But if you're going to carry the hatred, and you're going to carry the anger, and you're going to carry all of that with you, that things that people have done to you in the past. You're not doing yourself or anyone else any good. Let it go. Move forward. Yule is the birth of the new sun and a time of new beginnings. I hope that you will embrace your family and their differences, that you'll embrace the planet, Mother Earth, and all of her differences. I wish you well in your future. I look forward to seeing you in future video cast, if you will. Blessings to you and your family. Wishing you well. Have a great day.